Sure, just
Anyone want
jump
to
in.
raise their hand
Yeah.
and get us started?
Yeah.
I have one.
All right, Kaliska. Thank you.
um, so on our we have our spring conference, and it's not showing up on our calendar, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember how to make it show up there.
Okay. Well, which chapter? It would be helpful if anybody just announced which chapter you're with. I really appreciate it.
OPPA, sorry.
Got it. Okay. No, that's fine. I just don't remember everybody's chapters. I remember the people. I don't remember the chapters. All right. Let me share my screen here.
And I had another question. I can't think of it. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to have to really think about it.
Michael, I just want to remind you to record.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Perfect.
It's
Okay.
recording, yep.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, though, because I would have forgotten.
Yeah,
if you
I
hadn't.
didn't see it. So perfect. Yep.
Okay. When is the event?
May 15 through 18.
The sponsor only?
No, sorry, it's the spring conference. The
15th, the 16th.
Yeah, that one.
We got people registering for it. They must be seeing it.
Well, we've been sending emails. But people have been looking for it on the calendar, and I just can't remember how to post it.
Oh. Date visible 3/20. Visible to everyone.
Maybe I was on the wrong month. That would just be my day today if I was just on the wrong month.
It is a little tricky on the calendar because you have to like click on the far right.
There we go. I see it now. Sorry, it's already on there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I tried to do like the other view. Michael, can you scroll up to the top? Because this is one of those things we demoed at our spring conference. If you switch to list view, this is also another way to peek at it, and then you can.
Oh, that's much easier. You're right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Jeannie, it sounds like your microphone is muted or distorted. I'm not hearing you very clearly.
I'm hearing you too, Ginny.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
Oh, that's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. So you have the next, unless Kliska, you had another question?
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm going to try to think of my other one.
Okay.
Ginny? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, another one from Area 8, Washington NIGP, ynigp.org.
Ginny, still not great on the microphone, just FYI.
Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh.
It seemed to have degraded again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of, I'm speaking closer
that's
to
better.
Okay, that's better. Okay, I'll stick with that.
Yeah.
I'm in my office. You think it'd be better in my office, but in my office. Okay. First question. Last session we talked a little bit about, Michael, you talked about when we do a training for the tracking of that and marking of the points, the contact points, to make sure, first of all, that we, do it within 90 days would be the ideal. But I actually need a demo on how we know how to mark the attendance, but how do we delegate that associated points for that training ahead of time, or
you mean like
training?
The credit,
so I guess.
So somebody has attended an event that where they could earn points, and you mark their attendance, right? So then you click on import from event, and then you select the event that they would have earned points for. Right? And then you select the activity if it's a multi-activity event that they would have earned points for. Because you can, if it's a multi-activity event, you can, let's say it's a reverse trade show that's multiple days and they attend only one day, they only get points for the one day. They don't get it for the entire activity. So, and then you just choose a category for it, and then you enter the hours or the points, depending on what you're tracking for that. And then just click import, and it's going to import all of those people who are marked as attended, and it will, appropriately track their points.
Okay. I guess where I was trying to remember last time, I think you said something like if it was like way past the 90 days.
Yeah, if
If
it's
a
past
member
90
did it
days,
themselves. Okay.
yeah, if it's past 90 days, you can't use this. You're gonna have to do it one at a time using
Okay,
this.
that's
Add
important.
points and hours.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Yep.
Okay, otherwise it would be this clunky, the member has to do it themselves, then they have to send it over to us to approve. Is that
That's- yeah.
okay?
Yeah, you can do it
Okay.
that way, or you can click on this that says add points and hours, and you can do it one at a time.
Okay. All right, so that's question number one.
Can I?
Sorry, I'm making notes. Yeah.
I have the same. I have a question in the same general area of that. So we had a conference. Anyway, we had like a conference. I tried to go in and I marked everybody's attendance, but then this is Kaliska with OPPA, by the way, and I had but I went to like assign the points. For one, it's asking me for points and hours, which is fine. I can just put the same number in each one. But I can't. It's wanting me to do it per attendee instead of all at once, and I don't know how to make it do it all at once.
And you're doing the import? Well, let's.
Yes.
Did we answer all your questions, Ginny?
Yeah, I think so. And I think what I heard you say is, do it within 90 days, but if you go past that, then I have to do it one at a time.
Correct.
One attendee at a time. So
Yep.
I think Kaliska, you're probably on the same boat.
Yeah.
Potentially.
If we go back to OPPA and we do points tracking.
Yeah.
And import from events, you can select like this one that goes back to February 8th. Did you have an event prior to that?
We had one on March 20th.
Oh, that's the joint virtual workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So we select the activity, and then is it just a workshop? I'm assuming, and then you assign the points.
It would be 3 points.
3 hours and 3 points. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Michael,
maybe
Why are
0
you
hours?
making us do both?
Yeah, because it
Can't
won't let me do one
you-
or the other.
Well, you
Well,
can,
it's-
can't you in options, can't you
Yeah, here,
configure?
because you're telling
Yeah.
it to track points and hours and the options.
And our members
Oh,
are
see.
confused whether they need points or hours, and so it's a big topic of conversation whether we need which one is what. And so I'm trying to figure that out with the UPPCC. So at this point, I would rather just them have both, because
Okay.
for whatever they think they need, they'll have it.
Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, UPPCC and NIGP CPP would be the judge. if it passes. Okay. Yeah, which is something that Jen kind of mentioned at the last week, last event. Okay. I do have my second question, unless Kaliska has additional.
Well,
Not everybody
for that March.
came to the conference that registered. So I marked everybody that registered that came.
Okay. I see. Well, if I go by the March joint virtual workshop, is that the one?
Yeah.
Do you see all these members? There's 4 pages of members who are in there.
Correct. And some of them, some of them did not attend. So I marked everybody that did. So what you're probably seeing is everybody that did attend, because there was over 100 people that attended.
But my point is that they were properly imported, because this is a points and hours manager.
Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, so I did it right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're good then.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds good.
You done good.
Thank you. I did good. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Sorry, is can you go back to our Washington NIGP? I suppose you could stay in here as well. So the module I'm trying to ask about is the control panel member profile, Michael. Do you mind going in that module?
So we go into people manager.
Yeah, go to I guess go to my name. USTIN. Yep, there we go. Okay, so go ahead and hit that edit. And then scroll to basic member information. Okay, so right here under member contact, you
Yep.
notice it's got my last name and I put my designation there.
Yep.
If I do not put it after my last name, it does not show up on the outside of my profile. And also when I hit the search under member directory, I can't search CPPB. The reason why I'm asking it this is now I have to redundantly put it under professional designation. If I put it there, it's still invisible. And I'm trying to run a report on how many of my members are CPPB and CPP. And without them putting it under their last name field, I can't search. And UPPCC won't give me that list because they are not allowed.
So,
So I ended up putting it twice.
so what you're saying is under,
Professional
if you put it
designation.
after your last name,
Uh-huh, it shows
um,
up.
but if you go into your membership directory, is that where you're searching or where are you searching?
Yeah, yeah. So go ahead in the text, type in CPPB.
So Michael, I'll just give a little clarification here. The designations are put in the additional member questions. We had a special field for additional member questions that includes that information.
Right.
So yes,
Okay.
Ginny's
Someone
right
muted. Somebody's-
when you can't run a report for your members, because you're looking for your members, correct? You're not just looking for yourself.
Yeah, no. I
And so if
noticed
they
that-
don't have
So-
that information in their last name, then it's going to be in an additional member question.
Right. So to get that, then you'd go to control panel people, go down to additional member data,
Okay,
and then click on export answers. And you can determine the designation. Let's just say we want just the active members. And we're going to get I don't know if you can see, it's opening up an Excel spreadsheet. And then in that spreadsheet, you'll have the column.
do you mind showing what the spreadsheet looks like?
Yeah, I'm going to try and share that. To stop sharing. So this is the spreadsheet,
Okay,
and the spreadsheet has the designations column in it.
okay. So they did type it in.
But it has all the member information.
Correct, which is fine.
Yeah.
But this, I did not know how to even pull that up because I just noticed that when I put it next to my last name, it was visible.
Yeah.
But everybody else looked like, and I know we had more. So this is great,
Yeah.
and I apologize. How did you get from here? You had to go to people?
You go to the people tab and then go down to additional member data. And then let me go back to sharing that again. So in additional member data, just click on export answers. And you're going to get the answers for all of your additional member data questions, but
Mhm.
you know, you can cut and filter and just get what you need.
Okay, great. That's super helpful. Thank you so
Good.
much. That did it. Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Is that all your questions, Ginny? Yep. Okay. Alan, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. I've got several questions here. We are preparing for our reverse trade show, and we went to send a email blast to the vendors from the system and realized that we couldn't input individual email addresses from the vendor community into the emailing module. You had to create a group for the vendors. Is there a way of importing our Excel spreadsheet of vendor listing into that to create a group? Because we have 40,000 emails.
What you want to first, what you want to do is create the group. So you go into the communications tab, go down to your mailing list categories, and this is where you're going to create your group. And you know, I would call it vendor or something like that. Just click on add category and call it vendor.
Okay.
And then, or prospective vendor, however you want to do it. Then you're going to go into people and go to people manager. and click on non-member options, and then import non-members. And you're going to click here and download the template. And this template is going to open in Excel, and you're going to put your data into this template. You can't add any columns, you can't delete any columns, you can't change any columns. You must use the template the way it is. And once you've done that, then you come back to this module, you select your file, and you assign the mailing list category, prospective vendor or whatever you want to call it.
And does this create a non-member profile for them as well?
It's going to create non-member records for each one of them. Yes. So it's important that you know that if you've got 40,000 of them, we still maintain that ratio of 5 to 1. You can have 5 non-members for every active member. So if you have 100 active members, you can have 500 active non-members before we start charging you for them.
Okay. So that's, we're going to getting charged because we have about 350 members.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So we'll have to address
So then you
that.
can have like about 1,600 roughly active non-members, and anything above that you're going to be charged for.
Right. Okay. All right. We have created our registration for the reverse trade show. We've created basically two events, a registration for the members and a registration for the vendors.
Excellent.
We are running into the problem where vendors are registering as members. And
Well,
I don't know if there's any safeguards we can put up to keep that from happening.
Yeah, if you create use the registrant type of active member under the member registration, then non-members won't be able to register for it at all.
Okay.
So which chapter are you with?
We're with Kentucky, KPPA.
Why can't I type? Okay, and when is your reverse trade fair?
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay, so we got the member agency registration, we got the vendor register. So if I go to the member agency registration and I look at your registrant types, you're allowing active members and then any non-member, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to fix this because clearly they're not reading. You know what I mean? So I mean, how do you fix people who don't read? I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where, if they're clicking on a link from an email, it makes it a lot easier, right? Because for the prospective vendors, you just email only the link to their event.
Right.
But if they're just going to the event calendar, I mean, it seems pretty clear to me. It says right there, member agency, and down here it says vendor, and you put it in big letters. So I don't know how to make it more obvious.
Okay. And we have some people that are prospective members that we want to attend. So I don't want to take the non-member off.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, okay. I just wanted to see if there was any other safeguards other than big bold letters and highlight it that we could do to keep that from happening.
Right. Yeah. I can't think of anything that's that would solve that problem, because they're non-members, and you need to allow non-members to be able to register for the member part of it as well.
Okay. Next question is also, when we opened up our registration, it also created some vendors went in and signed up as a new member. So they paid their $100 membership fee to sign up as a member. Is there a way, a safeguard of keeping that from happening?
Well, I don't know how you would, because you're allowing people to sign up as members. Right. I mean, the only way to stop it would be to make all your member types require approval, so that you can check and say, you know what, really, this should be a vendor. This really shouldn't be a member.
And maybe that's what that may be what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because our new membership getting new members in is not, it wouldn't overbear us to have to approve all those, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So like with the, when a new member signs up, if we go to the individual member type, requires approval should be yes then.
Okay. All right.
And then basically they don't pay anything. So they're not paying up front, which is nice. But if it turns out they really are a valid person who's applying for membership, you say yes, and then they'll get an email saying that the membership's been approved. Please log in and pay.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Michael. That's what I had.
Yep. You're welcome.
Ginny, you have another question?
Yes, I do. So Michael, since you're on my page, can we go to communications tab on the control panel and ad hoc form? So I played around based on your recommendation. I
Yep.
created one, but I
Good.
have not been able to figure out how to put this on our scholarship page. Could you
Oh,
assist
okay.
me?
So it is active. Where's your scholarship page here?
Member benefits.
Okay. So if we go to,
We kind of have it in a funky space right now, which I'm not married to at all. Like we would like it in a better spot.
yeah.
Right now where it's at, it's like we want it more like right on the top of the page.
Okay. Well, why don't we, I'm just going to put it in here for right now, and then you guys can kind of figure out where you want it to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop it down here. We click on the insert link icon and go to your ad hoc form, scholarship application. Let's make it a button. Apply for scholarship. And then we've got the button. Click save. If we save, make active and exit. And then if we go to member benefits scholarships, there's your application.
Nice. Okay. So just to be on the safe side and we don't have a duplication, could we go ahead and get rid of the other button on the bottom of this page, the current one?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
now I don't want anybody to get confused.
This one's easy. Wait.
Awesome. I love it when he says easy button.
Yeah.
Not as easy for the rest of us. Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I figured I did the work, and so I just need you to give the easy part, the easy button.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for that. Awesome. Thanks.
Aliska?
Well, it seems like Jenny and I have the same questions today. But on our scholarship page, I was trying to add a flyer, and I couldn't add it no matter what I did. I could get to where you were because I edited information on our page. But like where it says email your completed application, anything over in that little area, I couldn't get that to go away because that email address that pops up with that, I couldn't get it to go away.
So you just want to get rid of this?
Well, the scholarship application is fine, but that email your application, I need that to go away. Because the email address that it does isn't even valid. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
And then how do I add a flyer to that page if I wanted to?
Are you talking about, it depends on how you want to add it. Like if you,
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, I could add it in two different ways.
Download. Oh, you've got email down here too.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that.
You want me to get rid of this?
Yes. Because if we don't put it on that scholarship page, that's fine. But I would love it on the front of our website as well, so that folks know that it was available.
Okay. So what we should why don't we put it over? Well, you've got the application, so the flyer should go with the application, I would think. So we could say download
Spring flyer,
scholarship flyer, something.
Yeah.
So this is a document, right? Is it stored in the document library currently?
It is, yes.
Under where?
Miscellaneous
Oh, there we go.
scholarship application. There should be another. Maybe there's not another document. Maybe I took it out.
Well, it
But
says
okay, I can
scholarship.
just. I know, but it's not. Oh, flyer. It does say flyer. Okay.
That
Oh,
says
that's right,
filer,
because I
but that's
spelled it
okay.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so if I click save now and say make active and exit. Now, if we go to your scholarships, there's your flyer.
Perfect. Okay.
Now, what we
How
don't
do-
know is the permissions on that flyer, right? Because are members or non-members allowed to download this?
Members.
Members only? Okay. So this is members only. That's good. And that's public. Well, that's fine. No big deal. And the flyer is members only. Yeah, that works.
Okay, and then how do I get that flyer on our front page? Because I could get an image to go there, but not a PDF on the very front of the web page, like under maybe newsletter or something.
So
I don't know if I was doing it right under newsletter or wrong, but I like,
where?
where it says chapter news, like I just kind of wanted to post it there or something.
Oh, that's
But it
easy.
wasn't
We
but it wasn't
have to
taking a
create a news
document.
article. Yeah, the problem is that you have to kind of go through some iterations where
Oh,
the application itself, you can't really post it. So what you have to do is you have to view it, take a screenshot of this to make it a JPEG,
oh, okay.
and then you can use that as what the
As
part
the
that you're
thing.
actually showing. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Ginny, did you have another question? You have your hand raised.
Oh, sorry. I guess I forgot to lower it, but I think I did come up with another question.
Yeah.
On the homepage, if you mind going back to YNIGP. Okay. If you scroll down to the chapter news, so I noticed that
Right, there we
oops,
go.
sorry. Okay,
I shot
so
overshot.
so we have the desktop view, and I noticed when I went to the mobile, when you click on the read more, for example, on my page, on the president's page, like my picture disappears. Or actually, I
Yes.
guess it's not on here either. Okay. So is it the way so if you go back to the other one called the My Purdy Scholarship, I notice his stays on there. So it must be the way we set it up.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
how can we make sure that this always is set up?
So you got to think of it as there's two different parts to every news article. So we're going to go to the president's message. Oh my gosh, you have a lot of articles. That's awesome. I love that.
We try.
Okay, so we're going to go to the president's message. If I click on the blue handled wrench, the image, the share image is what's being shown with it, along with this summary, which is really, I mean, a maximum of 1,000 characters, but really it gets truncated on the homepage, on that widget that shows the homepages. So that's where that is. But in the article itself, the body of the article, if I click on the pencil, oh, your image is there.
Well, but yeah, well, yeah, we have several in there, and we were like, okay, how did this even show up? So that
How
was
did that-
Maya's image. Obviously, we don't want Maya there. So I don't know. Do we get rid? We need to get rid of these because obviously that's not English.
I guess
I don't know how we.
Did you just add these? Why aren't they appearing?
I'm not sure. My new webmaster is actually trying to learn on the fly, so I couldn't figure out how to. She was doing this one in the back end. While I was just watching and refreshing the website, so we were kind of tag teaming on Friday.
Oh, you know why? This one's
this is the
expired.
expired one. Yeah, that's
So
the
there must be
expired
another one.
So there is another one. It should have been the April 4th date.
I'm going to go back here. Read more. Edit.
Oh, edit over there. Okay.
Wait, which one is it? It must not be called
Oh,
President's Message then.
oh, yeah, let's see. There's an April.
Let's do active.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I
she
see.
called it
It's a
April
category President's
2024.
Message. It's just called April 2024. That's why.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, if we
Okay.
click on the blue handled wrench, it's got your image
Okay.
there, and that's the one that's being shared on the widget. But when we click on the pencil to see the body, your image isn't in here. So if we want to add it, we can just, we
Yeah.
could insert the image. I don't know if it has your name in the image or not.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Oh, there
Nice.
you go. There you go. Okay.
So now we're going to set the properties to be right justified. Boom. And then let's put some gutter around it of about 7 pixels. And then save. And now when we go to the home page and we click on your message, there you are.
There's Jenny.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. No,
So you can
this
put
is
it on the
super
right or
helpful.
the left, wherever you prefer.
Okay. Well, it's better than, yeah. I thought maybe the picture was there, and then I went to the mobile version, and I was like, oh, it's not showing. I wonder what happened. So
Yeah.
that's helpful. Okay. Thank you so much for that. This is
Yeah.
also helpful for my webmaster because she couldn't attend today. So
Okay.
Sean, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple questions. I'm from the Columbia chapter that is in Oregon and Southwest Washington.
Columbia chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
So,
remember your I gotta look it up. Sorry.
all right. So I accidentally created like 2 profiles for one person.
Okay.
So what I did was I updated one of the profiles with a different name. And I didn't know if that had any repercussions.
Possibly what was the name of the person?
Her name's Dawn Monaco.
Okay. Don Monaco.
And so I had two for another person, but that is the one that I changed it to Dawn's name, and I just didn't know if like that was gonna change anything with user IDs and passwords, or like not send out emails, or
No,
know.
the only thing that like this part that I highlighted on the screen here, the mailing name
Okay.
doesn't automatically change, so that you'd have to
Okay.
manually change as well.
Okay.
Because otherwise Dawn is always going to appear as Lynn Bybee on like mailing
I don't
labels
want
and
that.
things. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing.
But
So
yeah,
if
anything else you change, it's really not. And then if you look at the standard member directory, this may not have changed also. But it doesn't look like there was anything entered there, so no big deal.
no, I'm we're at the beginning part of our journey.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to get some people added so they can come in and look at it and decide what they want to put on the website. We're not going to carry some of the content over. They have new ideas for content, but there's so many options that I don't want to just go forward and do stuff.
Sure.
I want them to
You-
get in there and go, I want to do this.
Unilateral
Well,
decisions. That's what we love, right?
yes. Yeah. So that was one of my questions, and I'll go update her name then, make sure it shows up. Dawn. So as we set stuff up, there's like 2 different functions. I'm seeing a administrator and then
Oh, coordinator?
I don't know, coordinator. So is anybody using those functions, and how are they using them? How are they setting them up?
If you set everybody up as an admin, everyone is going to have control over everything, which over time is going to cause problems because you're going to have people
Right,
doing
I
stuff
agree.
and you're not going to be happy with it. So it's
Right.
best if you create coordinators. Coordinators
Okay.
have access only to certain modules. Like you might want to have somebody who can only edit custom pages and add custom pages and make changes to some of your pages. And that's great. And then maybe you want to give them document library access. So that's a way to give them some responsibility for managing the website and taking some of the load off for you, but not giving them carte blanche access to everything.
Okay. I agree. The people I've added are on the board, and they've all said we want access to everything. I'm like, are you sure? because you're
course
not
they
gonna
do.
go in there.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Everybody wants access to everything. Nobody wants to be restricted.
I want to be restricted. I want to just be the person going to the meetings now.
Yeah.
Okay, that is my other big question. Okay, so how, I haven't even looked into this. Like when we start to create, like when we get a big list of people and we're going to upload them into the system to start our membership, how, any best practices on like what the emails should say that go out? Like I don't, I have so many questions.
The very first email that goes out, like when you send your membership data to Ronnie, before Ronnie
Okay.
updates it and sends it to me, then
Okay.
the next step after that is I'm going to upload your data. You're going to modify this email. It's called Welcome Email Bulk Loaded Members. This is the one that's going to be sent to everybody. And by default, this email has some very generic text in it, but it also has their username and password. So these are tags. You don't want to mess with these tags because you want to make sure they get their username and their password. But there's other tags that you can use too. You also want to make sure that your membership information is current so that these tags get replaced, and your president information is current so those tags get replaced. There's other tags that you can select if you want to add other tags, and there's a whole mess of them here. When you're ready to see what it looks like, click this blue envelope icon and send yourself a test of it. When you click it, it just asks you for an email address and says, what email address you want me to send it to? Click on send test, and it's going to send you a copy of it. And when you get it, if any of those tags aren't being replaced, something still isn't right. So that gives you an idea.
Oh, something. Okay, we test it that way. And also, if somebody said I lost my email, is that how we would send it out again?
Oh, no. Nope, you don't. The welcome email is only going to go out once and once only, and it'll go out to members who are bulk loaded. If somebody lost their email, let's pick on Dawn again. So if we go to Dawn's record in her profile and click on reset password, you can send her username and a temporary password to this email address. Now, here's a cool thing. Yeah, here's a cool thing that if you have a member, and believe me, it happens frequently. A member will say, well, I didn't get it. And I hit reset password multiple times. Like if I just log out and go to member login, there's this forgot my username password right here. And as a user, if I click this, all it's asking me for is my first name and my email address, and it'll send me that same password reset email. But we'll have people who say, well, I've done that 5 times and I still can't log in. And I get the email and I still can't log in. And it's because they've gotten out of sync, right? Because they requested it 5 times. They're still looking at email number 4, and number 5 has the current information in it. So what you do then is you go into People Manager after saying choice words under your breath. Click on the pencil, go into their basic member information, and cut their email address out, and then click save. And now it says no email address on this account. Then click reset password. And when you do, it pops it up right on the screen for you. And so now you can log in as them and say, it works fine for me. And here's the information I logged in with. And you can send it and just, shoot them an email or tell it to them over the phone or however you want to do it.
Okay.
And then now when you're done doing that and making them feel like a fool, then you put their email address back in.
They're not going to feel like a fool. They're going to be like me. What? No. Okay.
There are very few pleasures we get in support, but making people feel like a fool sometimes is one of them.
Yes. Okay. Those are my big questions right now. And so I'm going to meet with our membership people and our treasurer, and we're meeting, I think, on Thursday or Friday, and I'm going to get that list to Ronnie very soon, or they're going to get the list.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So I don't see any hands raised. I don't know if anybody else has a question for Michael. Okay, Donna.
Yes, I have a question. Hello.
Hi.
I am the person who often puts out fires and fixes things. So I have a weird thing that happened that I would like to have your opinion and some help on.
Sure.
Okay.
Which
So
chapter are you with?
I'm co-op.org. And this is going to be related to membership stuff. So if you want to head to that people manager. So I have a person who applied to renew their membership.
Okay.
And because the person, I checked with the other person on the membership committee and he told me that he did not make any changes. So it appears that this person did all of the stuff I'm about to describe on their own.
What is their last name? Let's take a look at them.
So the organization, it'll be easier to look at the organization because it's Columbus Metropolitan Library is their company.
Okay.
Okay, so the person who put in the renewal is, where is her name? Mona Lisa, the last one in that list.
Mona Lisa. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so it appears that she changed her membership type from regular to agency membership. She renewed herself, and she also created a new record for Wanda Dixon and renewed that record. And I don't know how it happened. I didn't get a notification. So you see on the list, like number 317 is the new one. I didn't get any notification that that member was created. We have the setting on that they aren't supposed to make duplicates, but it appears that like she used the same email address, but she capitalized the first part of the email address for Wanda, which apparently means that that creates a new member record.
Well, I think the problem is because she's a primary and because she added the person to her own membership, you can do that. You can override that, which is a pain, I'll tell you.
Yes.
But it's because the person in this case, this primary, who's Mona Lisa, is acting as almost like as an admin for everyone underneath her. In this case, Wanda.
Right.
So she's able to override that requirement that you prevent duplication. If Wanda were to try to just literally sign up as a new member, the system would prevent it because she's not being overridden by anything. But let's just make sure. If we go to people options, we got duplicate signups is set for no, so that's great. So yeah, as long as the first name and the email address are identical, then the system normally wouldn't allow it. But because Mona Lisa was acting as the primary and adding her as a secondary, it did allow it.
Okay. So what I would like to do is combine, basically I want to get rid of the new one. But she renewed that one. So what I don't know if what I want is possible, so I'll describe it and then you can tell me if it is or not. What I would like to do is combine that new one with her old one so that the old one will have the renewal and then I can drop the new one.
So you don't want her to be a secondary, is that correct?
Well, that part I don't care about. You can see Wanda Dixon already has an entry but she that's the current one that's active. That is her current membership. Because Mona Lisa was able to override that, there's now a second person that is brand new, that has none of the previous information about Wanda, like her attendance at events or anything like that. But that's the membership that got renewed, that got paid for.
Okay.
So ideally, what I would like is to have one record that is her current record that has all of her history, but also has that payment for that renewal. So that I don't have to refund the payment and make her pay again. I want to transfer, I want to combine those two things together.
But you are totally fine with her being a secondary member under Mona Lisa.
I mean, I don't have a problem. We would have set it up that way for her, right?
Yeah.
And if she had asked, I would have set it up that way and then she could have done the renewal and everything would have been fine. But because she apparently just went rogue and did it herself.
Yep.
She now created a record that doesn't need to be there, and like,
Sure. Yeah, I
yeah.
get it.
So I don't care about
think
that part
I-
necessarily.
I think the easiest way to do this would be to click on the word active, drop this one as a duplicate, and then we're going to move all transactions to another member. And it's going to be her other record here, which is 317. See, member number 317, which is her
Yeah.
secondary membership. So if we drop the primary, which is the one that you are calling currently active, but not the new one, then we're going to take all those transactions and move them to the new one. And that way we don't have to mess
Okay.
with. So once we've done that, now the first one disappears. And if we look at her secondary record now, it should have all
Okay.
of her transaction history from her renewal from last year. All of that's been moved over to her new record.
Okay.
Event
will
history,
that-
same thing.
So that moves basically, does it move profile information? Like,
It doesn't, no,
They're-
because the profile
okay.
information, it kind of assumes that the one we're moving it to is the most current one. So
Sure.
it assumes that this information would override the older records information. Though it looks like they really
So-
didn't put much in there.
right, because again, I think
Yeah.
again, assuming all the information I was given is correct, this person just did this all by themselves. So they just
Yeah.
created this record. And so if I want to have the new record have her old member information, I'm going to have to go back to the old record that you just dropped and
Mhm.
manually add all that information to her new one.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
But if we
true.
do, like, let's say I was trying to merge accounts, but there wasn't a monetary transaction involved. It was just history. You would okay, sorry, I'm trying to think of a way to describe this that will make sense. I have another issue that I need to fix in our record that is a similar issue. But like their renewal is already complete, right? Like they created a second account, but the second account is the one that is incomplete, but there
Okay.
might be membership, like this, I'm sorry, this is very complicated to explain. So like version 1 of that person is their older record with their older history. Version 2 is a newer record and might have like, oh, this version registered for 2 meetings, but I would like all of their information to be together. So if I want to combine those records, I want to move the old record onto the new record, and then all of the old data will be written onto the new data, or
Yeah, I think of it like what's the way to do it with the least amount of work? And that would be, in most cases, to take the old record, drop it, and transfer all the transactions to the new record. Because again,
Okay.
assuming that the new record has the most current information in it. But that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes, like in the previous case, they put in minimal information. So
right.
the most recent record had the least amount of information. So I think you
Right.
have to kind of look at those things and say, okay, which one has the most complete information? And then we're going to drop the one that has the least amount of information and move the transactions over to the more complete one.
Okay, so like in this example, version B is the one that has like, okay, 1 event registration. If I drop it and assign its transactions to their older record, it's not going to overwrite like all the previous meetings they attended. It's just going to add that one
Exactly.
transaction. Okay.
Yep. All it's doing is
Okay.
adding. It's not overwriting or taking away. It's just adding.
Okay. So like you said, the one that's most complete should maybe go on the, oh, you just said it and now I'm going to get it confused. The least complete one can be dropped and added to the most complete one, and then nothing will be overwritten just additional data will be added.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. That is
Yep, you're welcome.
complicated and I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And also it's frustrating that that's a thing that can apparently happen. Like obviously we didn't tell this person to do this. Nobody apparently did this for this person. She just
Yeah.
somehow was able to do it by, I guess, changing her membership type. And I think maybe we need to make that invisible.
I think that would be helpful. But I thought agency membership is available to new members and renewals. So at renewal time, anyone can choose an agency membership.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I'm
might
thinking-
want to make that renewal same type only. That
Yeah.
way, only people who are currently in that member type would be able to renew into that member type. And then that means that, if you have a new agency coming on board, or if you have an existing agency, a transportation department or something like that, who says, you know what, it'd be a lot easier if we could have one person who renewed everybody, then you can move them into the agency relation and to the agency membership as the admin. You can do that.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to do that because folks don't ask questions. They just do things and don't
Sure.
tell us what they're doing. And like you said, how do you fix that people don't read? So
Yeah, and people are going to go rogue and they're going to do their own thing, thinking that, they've had a couple of glasses of wine in them and it's a good time to start updating stuff. And,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sean, did you have another question? You have your hand up. No? Sean, no? Well, I don't see any other hands
No, I
up.
don't have. I
Okay.
took my hand down, so
Yep.
sorry.
Does anyone
So
else
very
have any?
confusing.
Does anyone else have any questions for Michael? Michael, did we want to go through maybe talking about event registration and the everybody?
Yeah.
I know we wanted to
Yeah,
mention
I know.
that. Right?
I do definitely want to do this. This kind of applies to a whole bunch of different events. If I look at a single activity event, I'll use this one for example. We've got who can register. When we go into this panel, it's so tempting to select a registrant type called everyone. Everyone means that you as the admin, you don't care whether they are members or non-members, and you don't care if the event can draw a distinction between them. It just means literally any warm body can register for the event. And personally, I find this really a troublesome registrant type because later on down the line, you're going to want to know. Like if this is an event where you have to address, where you have to assign points or import them into the points tracking module, you're not going to be able to because the system can't determine whether they're members or non-members. So it's important when you're registering, especially in a case where you're allowing non-members to also register, just to make them distinctive. Use any non-member and use members, active members as a registrant type. And that's going to make things so much easier for you later on down the line. And it's going to avoid any type of confusion or problems that are going to pop up. And the only reason I bring this up is because, we ran across one of the chapters who was using everyone as a registrant type, and it did cause problems because they needed later on to know whether they were members or not. And there's no way to do it after the fact. So just kind of a heads up on that. And then one of the other things that we have come across is when somebody is registered, the case is, let's say you have an admin at an agency who is logged in as the primary, but they're not the primary. And they're logged in and they're trying to register a bunch of people for an event. So their gut instinct is to say, not me, but I'm registering others. But that is the wrong choice because that means they're never going to be able to register the person who is the primary on that account. But they have to just think in their mind, I'm logged in as Jane Smith. That means I am essentially Jane Smith. I'm a proxy for Jane Smith. So I have to register as if I am Jane Smith, not as if I'm, somebody who is not Jane Smith. So in that case, they would say me plus how many other people am I registering? Does that make sense? Or is that a bit confusing?
It's just making people think that way, right, Michael? So
Right, yeah,
how do
it's
you-
just-
How do you do
it's-
that?
Exactly. How do you train people to think that, you know, you logged in as Jane Smith, therefore you are essentially Jane Smith for purposes of this registration? So, you know, but they, you know, when they're in a hurry, I gotta, you know, you can't fault them for being in a hurry, but they're gonna say, not me, because I'm not coming, right? I'm registering all the people underneath. But that's the wrong selection. They have to be able to select me plus how many other guests. Because Jane Smith wants to go, you know.
Great,
But we-
really great stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, the challenge will always be how to get the word out on that, right? But
Exactly,
definitely
yeah.
to bring it up to everyone here so that they're aware. So if you are talking to anyone on the phone or through email, that you can explain it as such. So,
And what we've
Well-
done too is I've gone so far as to recommend that in the event itself, that they go to the formatted description and actually put in the formatted description. If you are logged in as you know, as a primary and registering others, make sure you select me plus instead of the other option. So, you know, sometimes people see that and go, oh, you know, it gives them some guidance as to what option they should select.
if people read, right?
If people read, yeah, I'll say that, yeah.
Well, thank you, Michael. It is already close to 1 p.m. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending. We will do this again in 2 weeks' time. It will be at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I will have the recording that Michael will send, and I will post that to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So thank you, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, Michael.
Take care, everybody. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.